Thanks, Wendell. Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin in Venezuela. Officials in Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's government reportedly announced on state TV on Monday that a man accused of being a U.S. spy has been charged with terrorism. The state prosecutor, Tariq William Saab, accused the man, identified as Matthew John Heath, of trying to fill the country with blood, presenting evidence of various weapons obtained by authorities during Heath's capture. 3 Venezuelan citizens were arrested alongside Heath, according to the prosecutor. Saab informed that the Venezuelan state has managed to neutralize the plans to attack the oil industry and national electric system. He reportedly continued that they were lethal weapons designed to cause harm and to promote assassinations, crimes against the people of Venezuela. Tensions between the United States and Maduro's government have been high for months, with Venezuela's government previously accusing the U.S. of backing a failed attempt involving several former U.S. Green Berets and hundreds of Venezuelan nationals. And now for some international news. People from countries like El Salvador and Haiti who won temporary protected status after fleeing natural disaster and war can be forced to return home, a federal appeals court ruled. A federal appeals court ruled on Monday that the Trump administration acted within authority in terminating legal protections that have been allowed hundreds of thousands of immigrants to live and work legally in the United States, sometimes for decades after fleeing conflict or natural disasters in their home countries. The 2-1 ruling by the United States Court of Appeals for the 9th Circuit effectively strips legal immigration status from some 400,000 people, rendering them deportable if they do not voluntarily leave the country. The decision affects the overwhelming majority of beneficiaries of a program offering what is known as temporary protected status, which has been permitted them to remain in the United States after being uprooted from their unstable homelands. The Trump administration has argued that the emergency conditions that existed when people were invited to come to the United States, earthquake, hurricanes, civil war, had occurred long ago. The program, it said, had inadvertently conferred permanent immigration status for people from places like El Salvador, Haiti, and others, most of whom, it said, no longer needed safe haven. The long-awaited decision does not immediately end the protections. The Trump administration has agreed to maintain them until at least March 5, 2021 for people from 5 of the affected countries and until November 2021 for the people from El Salvador. If President Trump is not re-elected, a new administration could choose to maintain the program. We now turn our attention to news coming out of Cuba. At the start of Togo's coronavirus outbreak, the small West African nation welcomed a team of 12 Cuban healthcare workers to tend to sufferers of the virus, boost its laboratory testing, and help improve its hospital protocols. While the virus was overwhelming healthcare systems worldwide, the communist-run Caribbean island boasted a rare resource, a surplus of doctors trained in deploying abroad and battling infectious disease. And it is willing to dispatch them all over the globe to help nations requesting help. Head of cooperation at Togo's foreign ministry, Charles Islian, said that as scientific and medical circles grope in the dark, Cuban medicine, strong from past experiences, brought appropriate answers. Nearly 40 countries across 5 continents have received Cuban medics during the pandemic, as the island nation, home to just over 11 million inhabitants, has once more punched far above its weight in medical diplomacy. Since its 1959 leftist revolution, Cuba has dispatched its army of whitecoats to disaster sites and disease outbreaks grounds in the world in the name of solidarity. In the past decade, they have fought cholera in Haiti and Ebola in West Africa. Well, that's a wrap for tonight's regional news. Thank you for watching, and back to you, Wendell.